Residential Mortgage Lending Act. NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504. Georgia 69178. Illinois 031.0058339. Nevada 57237. Oregon, Tennessee 184373. Texas, Washington MLO 237926. Heidi Schlegel Points, California DBO 1666881.
She's a mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call Mom.
All right, well, welcome to Mortgage Mom Radio. I'm Debbie Marcoux, and I've got Heidi Schlegel Points with me.
Good morning.
Good morning. So we usually do this Wednesdays live at 5, but this week we cannot do it that way. We always take our recording and we send it off to the station, and with everything that is happening with the coronavirus and people working from home, the station is trying to limit or reduce the amount of people that they're having in. They're trying to not actually go in on Fridays. You know, everybody's affected by this situation. So,
oh, yes.
Yeah, they called me yesterday and they said, hey, is there any possibility that you could possibly get this thing to us sooner? And we usually send them the show on Thursday from what we recorded on Wednesday here on YouTube. And then they put that out on Saturday. So we had to actually do this kind of fast, sooner than necessary, sooner than usual. So we do understand that we're probably not going to have a ton of people watching us this morning because we are usually on at 5 p.m., not at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
But if you are here and you are watching us, thank you so much. And, you know, please feel free to put your questions into the feed, into the comments. We do want to, we've got a big show today. We're going to actually focus a lot on questions that have come in throughout this week. I'm going to read those to you. Comments that I've gotten on my Facebook page that I want to address. Where we're going, what does all of this mean? The Federal Reserve, you know, cutting the rate down to almost nothing, to basically to zero. And we're just going to focus on all of that today because it's a big show, lots of changes, lots of people being affected.
Yeah, just an unprecedented time, right?
Right.
We saw this.
Never.
Right. But the closest thing we've seen really to this time for the economy was back in 2008.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Anything before that, I wasn't in the business.
Yeah. Well, and I was. And
right.
you know, the question is what happens now and where do we go from here and what's going to happen in the future? And, you know, so we are going to go through all of those things. But we do need to catch up with Mom.
Yes. Yes.
We need to do that piece because that's what we do at the beginning of the show. For everybody listening, we are not going to be on next week. We've actually made the decision to shut it down for a week. We will not be on next Saturday. Right here on Go Country 105. We will not be on next Saturday because it is so hard for everybody. So, you know, we have already implemented for our own team and our own office, our location, to have everybody working from home. And with everybody working from home, it does make it pretty difficult to try to record. So I did have to actually, you know, strong arm Heidi into coming in today and doing this show for you guys for, to hear what has been going on, but we will not be on next week. So I would like to try to bring you a show next week, right from YouTube. So, but I'll be doing it from home, probably from my RV. But the only way for me to do that, because I won't have all of the equipment that you see when we're recording and, you know, you're watching, on YouTube, we will not have all of the equipment. So the only way that we can actually get the show to you is if I can do it from my phone. Well, I can't do it from my phone unless I have at least 1,000 subscribers. So I'm asking everybody that is listening right now, please go to Mortgage Mom Radio on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. That way I can bring you guys in the middle of the week a quick update, what's been going on, and, you know, talk about anything that is new and how it's affecting the mortgage business. We've got a lot of changes, a lot of things going on that are changing that we need to keep you guys in tune about. So,
yeah, and with things changing daily, I think missing a whole week, could be a large impact.
Yeah,
keeping everyone informed. But since we are keeping ourselves at home, it's a little hard to do.
Right. Thank you so much for watching. Uncle Jeff, I love that my family watches me. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Morning, Jeff.
Good morning. But yes, and anybody, please, we're asking you guys, please go to YouTube. Please subscribe. I'd love to bring you guys a show. I'm just not going to be able to do that from the office with all of the equipment. So I need to be able to do it with, with what the kids use, Manny's GoPro and my cell phone. And that's the way it's going to have to happen next week. But we can't do that without 1,000 subscribers. So please go to Mortgage Mom Radio on YouTube and hit that subscribe button. So what's been going on this week, Heidi?
Craziness, insaneness. I don't know. My head feels like it's constantly spinning.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure. Yesterday, I didn't even know what day it was.
Right.
Yeah. I Christopher had an appointment yesterday, which was via video conference.
Yep.
Instead of going, and I was like, oh my God, he missed it. I thought it was the day before. Then I thought it was maybe today.
Right.
And luckily Christopher got the link and he was already doing it. But I was completely lost.
Yeah.
I had no idea what day it was.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been hard. We've got all of the kids out of school, and they just started actually today for our district. Just started today with the logging in online and doing the schoolwork. So we'll see how that goes. And they're making announcements yesterday that originally it was going to be the kids were going back to school after spring break.
Right.
Now they're making announcements saying they may not go back to school at all this school year.
Right.
So a lot of people's lives are affected. They came out yesterday and said that, the restaurants were going to be, shut down and that it was only going to be carry out or takeout. So there's a lot of restaurant workers that rely on tips that are now, down on hours. Anybody that can work from home is working from home, I'm sure. How's your internet speed been at home?
It's actually great.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, I've heard
It's working out amazing for me.
Is it? Well, that's good. Maybe it's because you're out in Castaic. I don't know. But I have heard over and over again. I've actually been, me and Manny, because we are already living in the same home underneath of the same roof, we have been coming into the office every day this week. Everybody else from the office has been staying home.
Yeah.
And, our internet's been okay, but I've been hearing that people are having a slowdown in the internet because so many people are on the internet during the day trying to work from home that usually are not. So,
right. Yeah. It definitely clogs up the areas. A lot more people where they don't normally have it at, the prime time during the day.
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely. So tons of changes. So what is changing in the mortgage world? And if you guys have questions, you want to give us a call, please feel free to do so. It's 844-935-3634. You guys want to get an appointment to talk to me directly one-on-one, you're more than welcome to do that. You guys are also welcome to go to my website, mortgagemomradio.com, and you guys can send us an email. Just hit on the contact us and send us a message right through, the website, and we will get back to you. I get every single one of those emails come directly to me. You can also download my phone app if you guys prefer to do, use your phone. That's totally great. I love the phone too. I don't like to open up a computer unless I have to, since I'm on one all day long. I'm actually on two with 4 screens. So, when I go home, I don't want to open a computer. If you guys prefer the phone app, text the word mom to 36260. You can download the phone app. You can contact us right from there. You can call us. You can email us. You can run payment calculators, listen to the podcast, watch YouTube. You can do just about everything from that phone app. It's really pretty cool. So dial the telephone number 36260 and text mom is your note in the comment or in the subject, and you will get our phone app will be texted directly to you. So those are definitely ways to get a hold of us. But what has happened in our mortgage world this week? So, tons of stuff. Number one is the Federal Reserve, which I'm going to touch on a little bit because we've got a ton of questions from people that came in that I'm going to read today, and we're going to answer questions. But the Federal Reserve cutting the prime rate definitely helped us. So on Monday, March the 9th, was the very best day of pricing that we've had. People keep saying in the last 6 years. I'm going to tell you, I've been in this business
ever.
Yeah, I've been in this business for 25 years. Those were the lowest rates that I saw in my career.
Right.
Where it was Monday, March 9th. Now, Monday, March 9th, those rates stuck around for about 4 hours. And after about noon,
half a day?
Yeah. About noon, the pricing started to change. And we ended up actually with 2 worsening rate sheets that same day. Mm-hmm. And then Tuesday, they got worse. Wednesday, they got worse. Thursday, they got worse. Friday, they went through the roof.
Yep.
So what a lot of people are not understanding is that where rates were Monday, as they're hearing all of these ads that have been created and now they're running and they're behind because they're ads that were created before things change on the daily.
And then they ran after it had already changed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So what a lot of people don't understand is that we had probably between 1 and 1.5 points or percentage different in the interest rates from Monday to Friday last week. So what the Federal Reserve came out and announced on Sunday did help us. We came in on Monday. We did have improving prices from where we were on Friday, but we have not seen the levels of where we were on Monday morning. They did come down a little bit. They came down again a little bit on Tuesday. And guess what? By about noon on Tuesday, we went right back up again. Today, Wednesday, I haven't looked at a rate sheet yet. We came into the office. We wanted to get this show going. But as of this morning, I'm going to guess that rates are a little bit worse than they were after we got our worsening rate sheet yesterday. After 12 o'clock. So it is very, very volatile right now because there is so much question and concern around the economy. Are we going to go into a recession? There's so many people that don't have a job, not making money. We are very, very volatile right now.
Absolutely. I mean, with everyone having to stay home, it's very different, right? When you're making tips and you're making commissions and you actually have to be face-to-face with people in order to make that income, it is very nerve-wracking for the economy because it's not something that you could just go do at home and still bring in that income.
Right.
Even some of these great employers, and they have been fantastic,
they
right?
Have been,
We're getting
yes.
all those.
Yes.
We're going to pay our employers. You know, I got one the other day from Nordstrom. Okay, I love Nordstrom. I think they're a fantastic company. I know people that have worked there. My aunt worked there for, it feels like 100 years. Love you. But they took really great care of their employees.
Yeah.
But they are commission based.
Yep.
So yes, they're going to pay their employees. They're shutting down their stores for a week, 2 weeks. They're going to pay their employees. However, their employees are not going to make the income that they normally make by servicing their customers.
Right, right.
And they are known for their service, and that's why the employees do so well. So yes, they're going to pay their employees, and that's fantastic, and they're doing the best they can. But they're not going to be able to pay their employees what they are normally making, and they need to survive to pay their bills.
Well, and another thing, too, is if you think about the people that are working at restaurants and they're getting tips or anywhere that you get tips. I mean, you think about your nail salons. You think about your, I think about my European Wax Center, you know, when I go in to get done. You know, they're making an hourly wage, but then they're also making their tips. And this is going to be a situation where, you know, the government is being very good about all of the stimulus packages that are coming out.
Yes.
They're going to allow everybody to, you know, go on, especially here in the state of California, go on EDD, take the unemployment. They're waiving the 1 week waiting period for that to happen.
Right.
But this is the situation where you've got a lot of these tipped workers, cash workers, that don't claim the income. So when they determine what their pay is going to be, trying to help them gap that bridge, it's going to be based on what they filed and what they collected and what they said that they earned.
Right.
It's not going to be based on what they're actually throwing in the pocket and that they're not claiming. So, you know, one of those things that, you know, it's something to think about down the road. We get a lot of questions all of the time from people that say, I make a lot more money, I just don't show it. I clean houses, I just don't show it. I'm a bartender, I just don't show it. And we have a hard time doing loans. Now you're in a situation where you're going to have a hard time getting your income gapped. So, you know, not that I want to pay the government any more money than what we have to.
No.
But one of those situations where but it might have actually worked out to your benefit had you been totally 100% honest and claimed what you actually earned.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, and they are being great, right? They're pushing out the due date for your taxes and your tax payment, right?
Yep.
You said 90 days, I think.
90 days. Mm-hmm.
So that's helpful, especially like someone like me that's going to owe even more money.
Yeah.
So
we love it. I know.
We love it.
Uh-huh.
But it's a huge help, right?
Yeah.
Because right now.
Yeah, everybody wants to save and everybody wants to keep their money in their pocket. Yeah, and nobody wants to just shell out what they owe for their taxes right now because
they're unsure where that money's coming from.
There's such uncertainty. Exactly. Yeah. So everybody wants to try to hold on to the money that they have. In going on that subject, though, I wanted to bring up something that is really, really important for you guys to hear. And please, please follow my advice. no matter what happens, you guys get down, you get low, you don't have enough. The very first thing that you always pay is your mortgage. Always.
Why?
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 Because if we go into a recession, which, the president got on yesterday and said that he's at this point anticipating a recession. We don't know 100% if that's going to happen. I'm not the person saying it's going to happen. There's a very good chance we get through all of this and everything just comes rolling back with a vengeance. So no, it's all uncertainty right now.
Right. I mean, this virus, it's something, no one can plan for. No one was ready for. The economy just totally flipped around because of this virus.
And it's the uncertainty.
And it's uncertainty. And if we get a hold of it and we can wrap our hands around it, we could totally flip back. So we don't know, but it is something to really, be aware of.
Well, it's something, and what you have to do is, I have been through many big issues. I mean, I had just started working with my parents who were real estate agents back when the Northridge earthquake hit.
Right.
And they had a bunch of properties that were in escrow at the time, supposed to close those loans right the next day, and everything stopped. And that eventually ended up throwing us into a massive recession, not countrywide, but here in California and Southern California, prices dropped to historic lows on the property values. Then the same thing happened again in 2008 when we actually went into, the full recession for the entire country. I have been through it and I've seen it numerous times. And what I can tell you is, number one, when we go into a recession, it is going to take everybody time to catch up. So the last one that we saw in 2008, there were a lot of people that did run into issues that didn't have quite the money that they needed to make the mortgage payments, stopped making mortgage payments, tried to reach out to the banks, tried to do loan modifications. Loan modifications didn't get done because they weren't really doing them yet. They weren't prepared for it. They didn't have the people in place. They didn't have the departments in place to get it done. Mm-hmm. And there were a lot of people that ended up losing their homes who could have actually saved them and could have actually modified. So it is very, very important that right now, of every bill that you have, pay your mortgage. That is the most important thing that you can do. If you don't think that you can pay your mortgage before you have missed your payment, reach out to your lender and let them know. Not your loan officer. I can't help you with that. You need to call the 800 number on your mortgage statement, and you need to talk to the servicing department that helps you with your loan. But it is so very important to save that house. Trust me. Down the road, this is all if we go into a recession. Down the road, once we have been in it and they've had enough time to figure out what they're going to do, they will bring programs around like the HARP program that we had for years, where you can refinance if your property value is upside down. They will have loan modification departments beefed up and in place to start taking the amount of calls that will be coming in. And you will have that opportunity to try to save yourself. But if you stop making that payment right now today, chances are that there's not going to be all of the help that we need to have in place for you to save that. The other thing is that when you miss a mortgage payment, it makes it very, very difficult for us to refinance you, almost impossible. We can sometimes refinance you still just to drop an interest rate and try to lower a payment, but cash out is absolutely, off the table, not going to happen unless you're going to go into subprime. The subprime non-QM world, is a much higher interest rate. So by the time you're done refinancing it to pull cash out to get yourself caught up, now you're just back into a payment you can't afford. So really, the only thing that I can stress to you guys right now is the first bill that you pay every month is your mortgage. The first bill that you pay every month, if you're renting, should be your rent. You need to have a place to live, and you need to have a solid, environment for you, for your family, for your kids, for your pets, for everybody.
And remember, when the housing market, when people start losing their homes, rent goes through the roof because there is not enough housing.
Right.
So when this happened in 2008, 2009, rents in Southern California are already just, in my opinion, ridiculously high.
But they'll get worse.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you think you can't afford your mortgage today, imagine what rent will be for a similar size home.
Right.
So make your mortgage payment, because you're going to end up losing that house and then not being able to afford a rent.
Right.
So keep that in mind. There isn't something else easier out there. There isn't something else better out there, because we watched it happen in '08. I was in the mortgage industry, and people couldn't even find a place to rent that was half the size for what their mortgage actually was.
Yeah. And, so that brings me to, I've gotten so many questions, comments, this week on, like I said, on Facebook at the beginning of the show. In my email, I'm getting questions from people. So I'm going to start actually reading those and kind of commenting on them. I think it'll kind of bring everything full circle for everybody. Mm-hmm. If any of you guys have questions, you want to talk to me, you want to talk to Heidi, give us a call. We'll get you on the calendar. We're going to set up a time for you. We're going to make sure that we call you and we talk to you about you and your scenario and what's best for you and your family. So give us a call. It's 844-935-3634. Remember that we are not doing a show next week right here on Go Country 105. We are only going to be on YouTube, hopefully. And we are counting on everybody listening to this show today to please go to YouTube, subscribe to our channel, Mortgage Mom Radio. We are at 891 subscribers right now. We need 1,000. Once we have 1,000 subscribers, even though we will be working from home, we won't have our equipment, Debbie and Manny can pull out the GoPro or the cell phone, and we can get you guys a show, get you guys updates, everything current to the market. We can't do it unless we've got 1,000 subscribers. So please go to YouTube, subscribe, and watch us hopefully next week. If enough people do it,
right?
We're begging you guys, go to Mortgage Mom Radio on YouTube and subscribe to the channel so we can bring you guys another show. But there's just no way we can't get together. We can't get into the studio next week. We are all working, from home beginning tomorrow. You've been working from home all week.
Yep.
Me and Manny are the only two that have been working from the office this week. I've sent everybody else home. The very best way to contact us, truly, is to go to the website or use my phone app and send me an email, because right now I've got my receptionist is sitting at home. He's doing a great job. He's answering the phones. He's trying to make appointments. But when you guys are calling in to ask us questions, he cannot see me. He cannot hear me. He doesn't know if I'm on the phone, not on the phone. He's trying to transfer calls to me. I'm already on another call. Phones are going back to him. He can't get you over to me. So the easiest way during this time that we're in right now is to email. So you guys can email me directly from the phone app. Text the word MOM to 36260. Save that to your home screen. It's really simple. You guys can send us a message right through there. Send me an email. You can go to my website, mortgagemomradio.com. Click on the Contact Us. You can send me a message there. It's the easiest email ever. It's Debbie, Debbii, at mortgagemomradio.com. So you guys can send me an email as well. But that truly is the easiest way. If you'd like to schedule a phone appointment, that is the easiest thing to do right now as well, because if you're on my calendar, you are getting a phone call at that time. I'm obviously calling clients back throughout the day. Nothing is stopping. If you need to call, it's urgent. We're going to get a message. I'm going to get a message that says it's urgent, call back. But it's just that in these times right now where everybody is working from home, it is just making it a little bit more difficult. So if you want to keep it easier, send us emails. It's the easiest way.
Yeah, absolutely. I know for our current clients, there's been a little confusion trying to get a hold of me. If you do call, Chris can just send you through to my cell phone. I will answer it. There's been a little bit of, I have to leave a message, or you could just email me, say, hey, Heidi, can you give me a call? Because I am answering my phone. My direct line rings directly to my cell phone. If you call the main line, Chris can just patch you through. Just ask him to send you through to me. If I'm on the other line, it will ring back to him, or just send me an email. Again, mine's easy, Heidi, Heidi, at mortgagemomradio.com. So very simple. Again, just send me an email, say, hey, give me a call, send me the number you want me to call you at, and I'll call you back. But nothing has changed. We're just not all sitting in the same office, so it's just a little bit less streamlined.
Right. So a couple things to keep in mind, and then we're going to start reading all of these questions and answering them for everybody. And again, if you guys have questions, we urge you to reach out, give us a call, and please subscribe to our channel so that we can bring you more of this next week when I've got to do it from a cell phone.
Yep.
Okay, so one of the things I want you guys to keep in mind is that interest rates are very low, and these messages are going to get us talking about the Federal Reserve prime rate and how I answered the questions. But interest rates are still very low. property values right now are still high. We're hearing talk of going into a possible recession. Some people believe it's going to happen. Other people don't. Doesn't really matter what you think, but think about it in this way. Property values today are still very high. Interest rates are low. You still have a job. It is the very beginning of a shutdown. We don't know how long the shutdown's going to go, but for right now, it's a couple of weeks. If you have been hoping to drop your interest rate and lower your monthly mortgage payment, get it started. Get the application started. Get it going. The one thing I want to mention to you is it is not just Mortgage Mom Radio. It is not just my team. Every single loan officer and mortgage company is overwhelmed in applications. If you think that you can call in one day when the rates have hit their lowest and you can say, lock me in, that is not going to happen. Please go to the website, mortgagemomradio.com, complete your application, upload all of your documents. We are doing the loan applications as fast as we possibly can. We are working much longer hours than we ever have before. We're doing it because we want to service you. We want to make sure that everybody gets, the opportunity to capitalize on where rates are at right now at this point in time. But if I don't have an application and I don't have documentation, I am not going to look at your file. I've got people that have done the job, that have done the work, that I'm going to work on first. And there is absolutely no way when I've got about 8 loans a day sitting in my queue. I would say that that's the number. When I walk in the morning, I've got about 8 loans that morning at the beginning of that day that I'm going to try to get myself through. And I do a pretty good job. I probably get through about 5 or 6 a day, on top of talking to probably 8 to 9 different clients, brand new consults a day. So, I move fast, and you're moving fast because you're right behind me picking up.
Right.
I'm doing the best that I can to put it together, structure it based on conversations, pull credit, know that we can qualify it, look at income, get it prepared, get the rate locked in, get the disclosures, ordered. And then Heidi is basically picking up my sloppy mess and she's fixing it.
It's not sloppy.
It's not. I'm actually pretty good at what I
No,
do. But
she does good.
But at the end of the day, though, there are a lot of things that are still always missing. No matter how good of a job you think that you did getting me the documents that I asked you for, nobody ever gives us everything we need. Plus, there's disclosures that we have to send you to get signed.
Yep.
There's things that have to happen to get that loan truly trued up and into our processing center for underwriting. Right. So if you think that you call me that morning and I can just get it locked, I can't. And that is what happened on Monday, March 9th. Mm-hmm. We had multiple clients that were floating their loans that as soon as we came in that morning, saw where the rates were, I get a text message hourly telling me where the market is at. The minute that I saw that things were going downhill and spiraling, I went in there and I just started locking as fast as I could. And I got every client that we had in the system locked in. But if you were a client who I had not started an application yet, you absolutely missed the boat. It didn't happen. So the only recommendation that I can give to you right now is get the application in, get it done, upload your documentation, let me get through it, let me start the process, let me get all of your paperwork completed. We can float your loan until you feel ready to lock.
Absolutely. And I can't agree with that more because we have clients. I had people calling me even, and, it's people I know. Well, can I get this best rate? Can I lock it today? Well, we haven't even started.
Right.
So absolutely not. There's no way because as Debbie's saying, she's got, 8 loans. Well, then they come through to me and then I'm really scrubbing them, making sure everything's perfect, making sure I send out the next needs list of that. If not, I'm getting everything in, writing up your love story to the underwriters, getting it all done, getting it off to the underwriter. Well, I can probably do about 4 a day to send it into an underwriter and then some needs lists. So starting from beginning, getting it all in and locked the same day and not missing that rate, it's just not going to happen, not in this market.
It's not. And it doesn't matter who you call or where you go.
No.
It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, I'm going to be honest with you, we're seeing tons of communication coming down, from our company. We do our loans. We work for Movement Mortgage. Mm-hmm. Do not, Mortgage Mom Radio is not lending you the money. Mortgage Mom Radio is a mortgage advice show. We talk about what is current in the market. We talk about changing guidelines. We talk about how we can get you into a home, down payment assistance for first-time buyers. Mm-hmm. This is our show that we are keeping you up to date in the market. market in the mortgage world. But we actually are loan officers and work for Movement Mortgage, and we're getting all kinds of communication that's coming down the pipe right now that's saying, that loan officers obviously in, desperate measures wanting to get that client locked in, they're locking loans for people where they don't have enough information, and those locks and those loans are getting canceled.
Yep.
And so that person that thought that they were locked in did not get locked in. I mean, they got locked,
they got locked in, but their application is not going to go through.
No, and
because
it got
they locked
canceled.
in essentially
without
a shell loan.
Right, exactly. Yep. And it was not a complete application. So it's really simple to get your application done, guys. Even if you want to talk to me on the phone, you can get it done first. If I have not had a conversation with you, if we have not talked, if I don't have notes about you, I am not going to pull your credit report. I don't know anything about you. So the application online is very, very simple. You guys can go to my website, mortgagemomradio.com. Click on Apply Now. It may bring you to another screen. Click Apply Now again. It will ask you to enter your username and credentials. If you are not at a point that you're entering username and credentials, you're just answering questions that the website's asking you, you're in a lead form. You're trying to get information about what my rate be today. So you want to make sure you're clicking on the Apply Now button on the very first page at the very top of the screen. It's going to take you to one more page, and right in the middle of that page, it's going to say, click here to apply now. You're going to click there, and it's going to bring you to the page you need to be on to put in your usually your email address is your username, and then you'll select your password. That is where you're going to do the application. That is where, when you're done, you are going to upload your documentation there. We are, again, if I've never talked to you before, I'm not going to start anything. I'm not going to pull your credit. I'm not going to do anything. But it really, really helps a lot when we have a conversation scheduled on my calendar. If I have that and I can look at that while I'm talking to you on the phone, we can get a couple of steps knocked out fairly quickly right over the phone in our 30-minute consultation. So just something for you guys to keep in mind if you want to try to get a jump or a head start. You may call me today, Wednesday, and you may not be able to talk to me until next Tuesday or Wednesday. It just is what it is. I will not take more on than what I can handle. I will make sure that every single client that I work with is handled with kid gloves. We want to give you the ultimate best service we possibly can. But if you wait till next Wednesday to talk to me, and then I send you the information to do the application, and then you do the application and you do your documentation, then you're going to be another couple of days out before I get to the loan and I see it. Where if you've got all of that done up front, I quote you a rate while we're on the phone, you like it, while you're on the phone with me, I could actually work my way through your application and even get you locked in right there and then. So definitely, I can't urge you guys enough. Go to the website, go to mortgagemomradio.com, click on the apply button, make sure you're at the place where you've got to put in your email address and create a password. If that is not where you are at, send me an email. I'll send you a direct link to it. But if you are just answering questions about your house and what is it worth, you're in a lead form, and get out of there and go to the main page, click on apply now, and then it's going to take you to one more spot and click on apply again. So there, we want to help everybody, and it's just, that the environment's changing. We want to make sure we're getting you the information as it comes. We're giving you the tips and advice that we can give you as we're seeing a change, seeing the volume, knowing what we're dealing with on a daily basis. And that's what this show is all about.
Right. And the faster we get your information, the faster we can give you the information about what you qualify for, what we can do for you. And if you're talking to Debbie and the more information she has up front, the better that consultation is going to be, and the faster we can move forward if that's your decision.
Right. Absolutely. So you want to get into some questions?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody listening, mortgagemomradio.com is the best way to get a hold of us. You can give us a call at the office, 844-935-3634. Get that consult set up so that you can talk to us. We will not be on Go Country 105. We will not be here Saturday live next week, or we're not live. We always record on YouTube, but we will not be on next Saturday because we will not be able to get to our studio to be in person. We are going to be working from home. I would love to bring you guys a show absolutely right here on YouTube on Wednesday next week. I want to bring you guys live updates, but I cannot do it unless I've got enough subscribers. I'm at 891. I need 1,000 to be able to bring you guys a live YouTube from my cell phone or Manny's GoPro, but to keep you guys up to date, because things right now are changing daily. sometimes multiple times daily, and I want to be able to be that go-to for you. So please go to YouTube, subscribe to Mortgage Mom Radio, get me those subscribers I need so that from home, starting really tomorrow, I can start trying to bring you guys updates as often as possible. All right, so you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So we have we do these live shows here on YouTube every Wednesday, and I put them up on Facebook. And
right.
So the most recent one of the most recent ones that we did was mortgage interest rates have dropped. You've applied for the loan, locked in your rate, and what happens next? How long will it take to close your loan? That was my post on Mortgage Mom Radio. Obviously, there are a lot of people that have done applications. They've locked in a rate. They're wondering how long is it going to take to close. And that's what our show last week was all about. So we're taking the YouTube show that we did, and then we're posting it to YouTube afterwards. Right. So one of the question or comments, I guess, that we got was it's not fair for renting apartment American people because homeowners rent their property with highest renting price. So if interest rate drops should reduce rental price proportionately. American workers always spend their salary for renting apartment. So obviously the English was a bit broken, but we can kind of understand where she's going. She's a renter.
Right.
And she feels that as, her landlord is refinancing the property to drop the interest rate and reduce the monthly payment, that her rent should also be reduced.
Right.
And I can tell you right now that she is absolutely 100% wrong. The whole point of homeownership is to be able to take advantage of being a homeowner.
Right.
And if you had I'm just going to say it. If you had the balls, and I might get in trouble for that one on air, but to take your property, turn it into a rental, know that you are putting yourself out there. You've got the opportunity of a renter not making a payment to you. You've got upkeep to keep on that investment property. You have a lot of risk.
Yeah, investments are a risk. So you put that risk and you're renting it at market value.
And you should rent it at market value.
And you should, because you're taking a risk of not getting paid.
Right.
Damages to your property.
Yep.
And possibly having two mortgages that you have to cover.
Correct.
And having to recoup anything that happens to your property. So, yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you would drop your rent at market value because you were able to refinance and reduce your mortgage payment.
Right.
The whole point of owning and
the
having
whole
an
point
investment property.
Right, exactly, is investment
property. property.
So, I'm really sorry, but hey, renters out there, if you guys are listening, I hope you guys heard the beginning of the show. As things get tight, if we roll into a recession and people stop making mortgage payments and they start walking away from their properties, which all of my listeners, I know you guys are going to all listen to me and take my advice and not do that, but let the rest of the world do it because eventually property values will drop and you can pick up a couple of your own rental properties if you keep your credit good.
Right.
And you keep your house. So anyway, where I was going though is as that happens, there will be a shortage in rental properties. What does that do? That will increase the amount of the rental income that somebody that owns an investment property can get. So renters, go buy yourself a house. Do not worry about where property values will be in a year from now, 2 years from now, or 3 years from now. Do not worry about a recession. Think about it this way. The interest rates right now are the lowest that they have been in moons, if not ever. And you are never going to get those interest rates again. So if you buy a house and you get a 30-year fixed and you can afford the payment, it is an affordable payment. You know you can make that payment no matter what. That is your house. You are putting your roots in the ground. Nobody can tell you to go. Nobody can make you leave. And no matter where the economy takes you, if you keep making that mortgage payment, you will always have a house to live in. Nobody can up your payment. You're going to have a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. And eventually, even if property values drop because you buy today, and let's say today is the highest day of the market ever, that property value will always come back around. We will go into a recession if we do, and we will roll right back out of it, and we will go higher than where we left off the time before. It happens every single time. Get on Google. Google is your friend. Read about it.
Yeah.
Interest rates will go up. It happens every single time. Then when they're trying to cure the recession because it is massively out of control is when they will actually finally then bring in HARP programs and refinance programs and lower interest rates to try to get a bunch of people refinancing to be able to afford their bills. So when the property values go down, but the interest rates go up, that same payment you're going to get. Just go buy a house. Do not worry about where things are at today.
And if it goes down, if property values go down, you're going to be able to rent out that house because people will have lost homes. You'll be able to rent it out. No matter what, you still have your payment you were comfortable with. You can rent it out and then buy a property that's worth less.
Yeah, that you want to live in.
That you want to live in.
Right, for the same payment.
For the same payment,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
And you'll have now an investment home. You'll have another home that you love. And you have still come out on top because eventually the property value of that original home is going to go back up. And now you have someone else paying your mortgage.
Right. Exactly. So sorry, Maya Win, but wrong to you. Okay, next one. We got an email, or I got a message saying, who needs a loan at this time when at any hour our government might tell us we can't go to work, meaning no way to pay back the loan? Okay. So I responded to that and I said, there are many people who have, so again, he was commenting on the most recent post that we did, which was our YouTube last week. And I was saying mortgage interest rates have dropped. You have applied for your loan, locked in your rate, and what happens next? Right. How long will it take to close that loan? So we're trying to get you education out to you, let you know what's going on with the market. And he's saying, why are we even talking about interest rates right now? Right. People might not even be able to work. So my response back to him was that there's many, many people that have locked in their rate right now. Mm-hmm. Many. More, I think we've got more applications at Movement Mortgage right now as a company in whole than we've ever had at any given time that they've been around in history.
Oh, yeah.
So there's so many people that have a loan that we're just trying to educate and bring information to you. And the other thing to keep in mind is that, you might be able to save yourself a couple $100 a month right now, which is really important when people are thinking about the fact that maybe their income might be dropped. So I did respond to him, very, very nice. And, just want to make sure he knows we're just bringing education. We're not trying to sell a service. If you guys want to work with us to do your loan, you want to refinance, you want to buy, obviously we want to work with you, we want to help you. But Mortgage Mom Radio is all about what's happening right now. And that's all that we're trying to get to you.
And the fact is, these are not all new loans, right? So a lot of these people already have loans. And we're talking about helping them reduce the payment they have today, which in this volatile market will help them if things change with their income.
Right.
Yep. So no matter what, that is a plus.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, Manny, can you do me a favor and grab my cell phone over there? Because some of the messages that I printed out it doesn't show me the whole thing. All right. So the next one is a lady got on there and she said, pretty soon you'll be able to buy a house for $8. The economy just crashed. I don't think anyone is worried about this right now. They have to try to keep their homes. A recession is coming. So this was her response to me telling people, what is going on with how long is your rate locked in and, all that good stuff. So I did go back to her and I just said, Stacy, with a recession coming, it'll be very difficult to keep your home if your payment is more than you can afford. If the rates are low, but your home is not worth enough to refinance the loan, the rates won't matter. So, that's one thing to keep in mind, guys, is that right now, if everybody is truly in the right place in their minds thinking we are getting into recession right now, we're talking about loans because right now you can still get a loan. Right. If your property value drops and you're upside down, again, until the government comes out with some sort of a program like they did before, like a HARP loan, until that happens, which takes time to put into place. It's not just flip a switch, they're back.
No, it took a long time to come out with the HARP program, and a lot of people at that point had already lost their homes.
Absolutely. So, that's something to keep in mind is that property values are up right now, rates are down right now. If you can refinance and save a couple $100 a month, that's only putting you and your family into a better position. So again, I totally understand, that people don't know, everybody's scared. It's uncertain times. I just want to make sure that we're bringing you guys the very best best information that we can, that it's coming out as quickly as it can come out. We want you guys to follow our Facebook page so that you can see the updates that we can't necessarily record and get onto YouTube.
Right.
But we also want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel so that I can start doing more and not have to be here at the office where we're we're not really supposed to be at this point. We shouldn't be sitting this close to each other.
Plus, during the summer, I'd like to do it from the pool.
Right.
Saying.
Right, exactly. So go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. We've got to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're close. I know that all of you guys can get that done for me this weekend. We're at 891, and I know that we can get there. So here we go. We're going to go on to our next question. So here is a good one.
Okay.
All right. It says, my question is, I hear there is 0% interest rate on housing right now. Does that go with refinancing your home?
I wish.
Right? You want to say, no. Not really happening. So that was another one that I actually did do an update. I put it on Facebook. It is on our Mortgage Mom Radio Facebook page. So I invite all of you guys to go there, like it. I think you have to follow it so you guys can see all of the updates. I started on Sunday, obviously, when that came out, there was going to be, a bunch of people with questions. So I started actually updating it much more often. I updated it again yesterday. I'll update it again today, keep everybody up to date with what's happening. But after the Federal Reserve did make that rate cut, I can't even tell you how many emails and phone calls that I got. And one of the posts that I did on the Facebook page is an article that was written almost immediately. Like it came out within 2 hours of the announcement. Yeah. And it was from Mortgage News Daily. And they go completely into mortgage rates, how mortgage rates are affected by the Fed cutting their rate, which is a short-term daily rate. They do not directly correlate. You're not getting 0% financing on mortgages right now, but it is a really great article, a really great read that I can't encourage you guys enough to go to the Facebook page, click on that link and read it, because it will absolutely explain to you how things work, where our interest rates come from with the mortgage-backed securities and bond markets and investors, and we're in long-term rates. We're not in daily short-term rates. Who did this change? Who did this affect the most? Home equity lines of credit and credit cards. You're going to see that those will drop. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, I had a conversation with a client yesterday, was he's got a home equity line of credit, and he was super excited that the Fed dropped the rate because his equity line of credit rate will go down. And I said, whoa. Read your paperwork. Yeah. Because most of those home equity lines of credit have what's called a floor. And the floor is this rate can never go down past X percentage rate. Right. And a lot of almost everybody that has a home equity line of credit right now has already hit their floor. So even though this rate has been dropped again, you will most likely not see a reduction in the interest that you're paying or in the monthly payment. Right. So you definitely want to be reading your note that you signed with the bank when you took that equity line of credit. You want to know what the floor is on that line of credit.
Yeah, most have a floor and most have a cap.
Yes.
Can't go below this, can't go above this.
Correct.
So everybody, we're so bad at reading the fine print.
Oh, of course. We just want that money. We're excited.
I'm awful.
Yeah.
I do this for a living. And, we bought our house and I was like,
yep.
And, Jeremy's like, babe, what does this mean? I'm like, just sign it.
I mean, I did do your loan, so I think we're okay.
Right. But, it's... Yeah. But we do that, right?
Yeah,
we buy cars, and we're like, those long pages.
Hey, I sent Shane to go buy a car, and Shane's not allowed to buy a car anymore because he came home with a contract that I did read, and I was like, what the heck is this? What the heck is this? He signed up for LoJack. He signed up for some tire and wheels. He
signed all the extras?
He did, and I was like, no. I had to call the dealership back, and I'm like,
cancel.
Nope. Send me a new contract. So sorry.
3-day rescission.
Not having it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we're very bad about reading the fine print. So the one conversation, by the time I was done with that client, the floor was actually quite a bit higher than where we could be if we did a refinance and consolidated and wrapped it all into one new loan, especially with where interest rates are right now. We're still hovering right now, depending on your scenario, in the mid threes, and which is still fantastic. So if you haven't done it already, go back. This is on podcast. If you just tuned in late, it's on YouTube. Go back and read it. We did it. We're doing it right now live. And if you guys want to watch us live, you guys can. Or give us a call. But get that application started so that we can, get you locked in when we actually have the conversation. Yep. So What do you? Okay, we're getting there. All right, so that was those questions there. Let's go on to another question, huh? Okay. Manny's telling me I have 1 minute left, but
We got 1 minute. We got to wrap it up.
and then we got to wrap it up. So we do need everybody to subscribe on YouTube so you guys can get a show and all kinds of updates from my house.
So I'm pushing it out to all my friends.
Yes.
And you have to subscribe. So I will push it out. Deb's going to push it out. We definitely have to know at least another couple hundred people.
Yes, we
Right?
have to. We have to. We need you guys to
And
get
even
on
if
there.
we don't know you,
subscribe.
subscribe.
Yep. Go to YouTube, Mortgage Mom Radio, hit that subscribe button. I've just got to get to 1,000. Once we're there, which we're close, we need, we're at 891. We need 109 people.
Yeah.
Then we can start bringing you guys that because we can't do it here at the studio. We're going to be staying home and working from home. So, okay. So here's a good one. And it's something that we actually just talked about. Again, go to the Facebook page, read that Mortgage News Daily post that I did for you so that you guys can get more information about how mortgage interest rates work. But again, another email that was very similar that I got this week. So, hello, Debbie. I'm quite curious. I went to Logix the other day where I have my mortgage. Talk about price gouging. The Fed dropped the interest rate down to almost zero, and banks are raising their mortgage interest rate because they have had an influx of applications. I see authorities going after the people for overcharging for items bought from stores or the stores themselves. Who holds the banks accountable? Okay, so we've got to understand. This was Phil. Phil, go to my Facebook page and actually read the Mortgage News Daily article that was printed up. It will explain to you how mortgage rates work. The mortgage banks are not gouging clients. They are not, absolutely not, 0% opportunity of that. What they are doing is because there's an overwhelming response to applications, there is absolutely not nearly enough manpower to close these loans within 30 days. They're having to offer interest rates that are locked for longer periods of time so that we have the time to get the loan processed and get it through the system. So we are right now currently locking on 75 days. I do not believe it's going to take us 75 days to close a loan, but I think it could easily take us between 45 and 50 days if you started your application right now today. If you're a client we started about 30 days ago, you're probably pretty close to already getting wrapped up. We started you 2 weeks ago. You're probably at about the 40-day level. We start your loan application today. It's going to be 45 to 50 days. So we've got to lock in that interest rate that we're promising you for a long enough period of time that we can close and we can honor what we're giving you. The longer that the rate lock period is, the more expensive that the interest rate gets. And there's nothing that we can do about that. We cannot hire more bodies that don't know how to do the mortgage business. We can only work with what we have to work with. So they're not gouging. You have to understand how mortgage-backed securities work, how bonds work, where our first mortgage rates come from. They do not come from the Federal Reserve prime rate of 0. So go to my Facebook page, go to Mortgage Mom Radio, read the article that I posted up there, subscribe to my channel so we can keep bringing you news.
Yes.
But they're not gouging. I do promise you that, and I want everybody to understand that. I thought it was a good question because I can see where people would
It's great.
think that.
Funny enough, because I got a referral from someone and they called same question.
Yep.
And so I actually went through, I think it's the same article you posted, and I was kind of reading it to them saying, understand.
Right.
It's not a direct reflection for mortgage.
Right.
So kind of going through it and they're like, oh, okay, it just seemed ridiculous. This is what I was quoted. And, so we kind of went back and forth, and then they kind of got like that aha moment where they're like, oh,
okay, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought, and I was
Right.
like, no.
Right.
Mortgage rates are not at 0. We're not at a quarter. We're not,
Right, exactly. Okay, so we're going to do one more question. We're going to tell everybody how to get a hold of us, and then we are out of here for the week.
For the week.
Well, maybe.
2 weeks.
Maybe. If I can get enough subscribers, I'll start coming to you guys daily on YouTube. I promise.
There you go.
All right. So here's the next one I've got. Hi, Debbie. I discovered your show after I got my home in June of this year. Bummer. We would have loved to help her. I'm at a loss at the moment because while I've made all my mortgage and credit card payments to this point, I was just notified that my job and income is stopping effective immediately because of the outbreak. As it's my first year in the home, it's been costly because of things needed to be fixed. So now I have higher than normal credit card debt, which I could have managed if I had stayed employed. But now this pandemic thing, I'm trying to be proactive and see what I might be able to do. A best case scenario would be some kind of loan. Wondering if you might have any advice at this time. I've listened to you enough to know that you are a creative problem solver. Appreciate any help that you might be able to give. Thank you so much. So, and I'm getting these. I'm getting them over and over again. And so the one thing that I can tell you is, number one, no matter what you do, if you can scrape it together, make your mortgage payment. Let the credit cards go first.
Absolutely.
Let the student loans go first.
And call your credit cards.
Yes.
Let them know that your job is put in jeopardy due to this pandemic.
Yes.
Credit cards,
they're working
with you.
We're getting emails daily from all of them saying, have you been affected?
Have you been
Please
affected?
Call
us.
Yes.
Personal loans. Have you been affected? Call us. So make all the phone calls.
And that was the first thing I said is call your mortgage company. Yep. She said, I already did that. I said, good girl.
Yep.
Because you want to make sure that they know immediately. Yes. All of them.
Call
every debt you have.
Send them an email. Put everything in writing. Call every credit card company. Every debt you have, call them and put it in writing. Immediately. Let them know how you're affected, why you're affected, and put a plan in place.
Yes.
That is the first thing you should do, no matter what. Anything happens, you do that.
Yes. No matter what. So I just want everybody to know there's really been no guidance that has rolled down to us yet to answer what is going to happen. Every mortgage company, every servicing company is going to handle things differently. Mm-hmm. So there's really no way for me to give one generic answer to, hey, this is how you do it. What I can tell you is the first thing I told her to do is call her mortgage company, which she did. Her mortgage company told her that they would actually reflect a 30-day late on her credit report, but as soon as she was able to make up the payment, that they would actually remove it. And she said that they were not going to charge her, I believe, the late fees and penalties. Right. So there are, and I don't know who her mortgage servicing company is, but if you call immediately, you'll find out what your opportunities and options are. Right. The credit card companies are sending out emails daily, the personal loans, the student loans. I'm seeing them come from every single direction. They're all coming out.
I'm getting them from companies I didn't even realize I had something with.
Exactly. So. Yeah. So make sure that you're calling them. And like I said, if you can't make a payment to something, don't make a payment to the personal loans. Don't make a payment to the credit cards. Don't make a payment to the student loans. Make your mortgage payment if you can at all possible. Do it, because I can tell you, you might think, oh, if I don't make the mortgage payment, that's $3,000 that I have for this month.
Right.
But let me just tell you, that is your biggest payment that you make, and it is the hardest payment that you are going to have to try to come up with the money to catch it back up later.
Right.
You will find yourself spiraled out of control. So that's the advice from the mortgage mom. It's all I can give you. We're done for the day. We want you guys to contact us. We want to talk to you. Remember that we've got everybody working from home now. Receptionist is not sitting outside my office, can't hear me on the phone. It's getting a little bit dicey trying to call in and get directly to me. Send me emails. It's the best way to do it. You can go through the website, mortgagemomradio.com, click on Contact Us. I'm going to get the email. You guys can send me an email direct, Debbie@mortgagemomradio.com. If you've got the phone app, you can contact us right through there. You can email me, email Heidi. You can select who you want to email from my team. If you want the phone app, text the word MOM to 36260. And we would love to get you guys another show out next week, but we cannot come into the studio. This was actually, you've already been working from home all week.
Yeah.
And, this was kind of a special. We didn't know that this was going to happen, obviously. So she came in today to get this show done. But next week, we're all working from home.
And
we won't
I'm
have the
headed
studio.
straight home.
That's right. And we won't have the studio to do this. So I've got to be able to bring it to you from my house. I need those subscribers. Please go to YouTube and subscribe to the Mortgage Mom Radio channel. And hopefully once I have 1,000 subscribers, I can do it right from my cell phone, Manny's GoPro, whatever we've got to do to get you guys the information. So we hope it was a great show. We hope you guys enjoyed a lot and you learned a lot.
Stay safe, stay healthy.
Yes. And
hang out at home.
Absolutely. Get those applications in so that we can actually lock you while we're on the phone and get those phone consultations booked. It's 844-935-3634. Talk to you guys all next week.
Bye.
Debbie Marcoux is licensed by the Department of Business Oversight under the California Residential Mortgage Lending Act, NMLS ID 237926. Also licensed in Arizona 0941504, Georgia 69178, Illinois 031.0058339, Nevada 57237, Oregon, Tennessee 184373, Texas, Washington MLO 237926, Heidi Schlegel Points, California DBO 1666881.
She's the mortgage mom. She can get things done when you're in need and don't know where to go. Pick up the phone and call mom.